good evening, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. We just had a little small technical difficulty playing with this phone over here, trying to get that live going and make sure we get the best shot of our senator in here. Amen. But listen, you're watching Fathers Who Care. Of course, it's always our pleasure to get out there into the field and find those individuals that you should know, somebody you should know who has been vetted, who have been trusted, who have been committed, and has still stayed the course. None other than our own Senator Kimberly Lightford. She's the Assistant Majority Leader for the state of Illinois. She's been in the field of, well, she's been a senator for 20 plus years. Love the work, love education, love young people, love grandparents raising grandchildren, love empowering the communities on various different issues, breast cancer, prostate, the works. I know she's one of the hardest working senators in the state of Illinois, and has been committed to that task ever since I've known her. And I just want to present to some and introduce to others so we can have some serious conversation tonight. We want to talk about the state of the state. We want to talk about the state of education. We want to talk about legislation that she's actively involved in with minimum wage, raising the minimum wage. We want to talk about all that good stuff about education for the young people. Are the young people able to go to college? How many young folks are going to college? Senator, are we in debt as a state? Do we need some more money in this state? Are we going to have more taxes? What's going on, Senator? And we know we're going to get it right tonight. So, listen, the phone lines are now open, 312-738-1060. We want to talk about specifically the state of Illinois. And how can we engage more people to be more actively involved in civic engagement? We want you to vote, basically.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell them why.
And starting with our young people.
And starting with the young people. So with that being said, well, thank you again, Senator. It's been a pleasure. You know I'll be on 10 every time I'm around you. And I think it's a pleasure just to be in your presence, because I really do believe that not only you being just a committed person in the state, but I believe when you commit to something, you just don't rest until you shake everything you can shake to get it done. And I know you're really committed, and you're a sister of excellence. You don't do nothing half-cock. You know, it's got to be, you have to be all in or nothing. All right, I just know that about you. And you're truly a community servant for social change. You're committed to doing the good work in the community. You're committed to doing the work downstate, and you want to always encourage young people to maximize their options. So, Senator, before we get too far into talking about various different issues that you may want to share tonight, we want to ask a question of you, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
We understand that you're an elected official,
that I am.
And we don't hold that against you.
Thank you.
All right? Because we thank God we got some good people down there like you, all right? That'll keep people focused, all right?
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, and don't let them run amok on us, all right?
Yes.
So we thank you for that. But some folks down there, you know, we think they need to go ahead and just don't forget to vote.
Right.
Vote.
Please vote.
Vote.
Please.
We've had enough drama in the last few years denying our young people education. We had enough drama in the last few years not knowing what's the nature of the state, what the state. We just had too much drama.
It's been terrible.
It's time that we kind of refocus and now be committed to serious issues on empowering the least of us.
Yes.
So, Senator, I want to ask you a question before I get into some of these other issues that's been pressing on me. First, again, thank you again for coming out.
Thank you.
But I want to talk about you as a senator.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
I want to talk to you as Kimberly.
Oh, nice.
Can I ask a Kimberly question?
You can.
Well, who is she?
Who is Kimberly?
Who is Kimberly?
I had to ask my mama or my daddy or something.
Yeah, who is Kimberly?
My husband. So Kimberly, Reverend Jones, she's a good friend.
Okay.
She is a great mother, a lovely wife, and I think I'm a good sister. And I really love hard. I love hard. When I'm committed, I'm all in, as you just stated.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of BS. I don't like people to BS me. Therefore, I don't BS people. I think I'm pretty honest, and I have a lot of integrity. I think I was taught well by my grandparents, specifically my grandmother from the West Side, who had a 6th grade education. She always talked to me about being poor, but not being nasty. She talked about having this 1 bar of soap in these 2 outfits, y'all. She tried to get me in 2 outfits, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
But she says just because you pour it on me, you have to be nasty. And she meant nasty health-wise, but she meant nasty from within, who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And she was
nasty spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And she was a giver.
Right.
And for her to be so poor, I watched my grandmother give with very little. And that's been embedded in me, to give. I love people. I love all people. I love poor people. I didn't know I was poor, you know.
Well, you wasn't poor in spirit.
I wasn't
you
poor
was
in
just probably
spirit.
poor financially.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
and my mother found a way to make us feel like we
like we had it all.
Yes.
we didn't go
Yes.
lacking. Yeah,
Well,
I remember.
right,
I remember. You
and
remember
those
sugar
things are true.
and bread surface sandwiches?
Why not? Peanut butter and jelly and grilled cheese and
Yeah.
chicken pot pies.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm
Goodness
full of them.
And it was on. It was on.
Yeah.
Don't bring no cheese in that house.
You gonna eat grilled cheese, baby, all
For
kinds
real.
of ways. Cheese toast.
That's right.
Just lay it open.
But wasn't that a good way to humble us
Yeah.
and to let us not get big-headed, even though we may have struggled in life to go through some changes? Being who we are and where we're from, we didn't know it.
Oh yeah, I love my foundation.
Yeah.
I love my foundation.
Yeah,
I
we
love
didn't
my
know it.
humble beginnings, and
So
I'm
you're
still
telling
very
people to do
humble.
what?
I'm
In
telling
spite of,
people-
if you might go through some stuff, don't let that what?
Yes. Don't let that overwhelm you to
Yeah.
a place of depression. I've been stressed out to no ends. I've been depressed, and depression is really an illness, and being stressed can kill you. And I think it's important that we begin to love ourselves enough
Yes,
to make
yes,
sure that we
yes.
check our physical health, that we check our mental health, and that we don't allow the money itself to take us to a place of no return where we begin to do things that are outside of what our values and morals are, and just stay real and true to who you are and what you believe in. And I believe that's who I am.
And I'm glad you brought us there, because in a little while I want to go there and talk about mental health.
Yes.
And trauma
Very
and
important.
crises,
Yes.
and folks receiving some type of assistance and trying to navigate through some of those issues, because it ain't too, people go through stuff.
Yes.
And people need to understand that it's okay to seek help.
It is, and it's so taboo in the black community. We make fun of it. He crazy or she crazy, and we always tease people, but it's really a serious issue. And we need to, in the black community, say, hey, I need to go get some therapy. I need to find out how I can overcome in all these different situations, so then I can become a better friend, a better wife, a better spouse, a better auntie, the best friend,
Yeah.
and I can raise children. I mean, if you're not together yourself, how you gonna raise a strong black man or a strong black woman if you yourself has issues that you can't address because you don't want to acknowledge that you have this issue that needs to be addressed?
Now that's Kim. That's the Kim.
That's
Right? That's Kim. Now, I like that.
pulling it out of.
Pulling it out. I'm trying. So now I'm gonna take you to that other side. So tell our viewing audience. You can call in anytime you want. 312-738-1060. We're talking about how to empower each other. Why should we empower each other? Why should we pool our resources? And how can we bring hope back into the community?
Yes.
And basically, how can we love each other again?
love on
Get
each
back
other.
there. Love on each other.
We gotta love ourselves first. and
Love
then you can
ourselves.
love
It's rather
others.
simple.
Yeah.
You got some love, you can give some. So why are you so passionate about being a senator, and why? How long have you been there, and why are you staying there?
Well, you know what, Reverend Jones, I looked up, honest people, I looked up and realized that I'll be 20 years on November 20th.
20 years.
And it was all of my 30s, all of my 40s. And I was growing and developing as a young woman during that time myself. But I know right from wrong, and what's wrong is wrong, and you can't fix that up, and you can't make that pretty. And I know that our voice was not at the tables where the decisions were being made. And so it was important for me to stay, because I just set tasks, I give myself challenges, and I try to meet those goals for the community and for the district. So if I'm missing at a table, I try to make sure that the African American presence and voice is at every single table in Springfield since I've been there and I've had a position of leadership.
So You enjoy being a senator.
It has its moments where I feel like, oh God, how long should I stay in public service? Is this something that I need to do forever? And mostly I pray, are you pleased with my work? Am I allowed to do something else that I enjoy doing as well?
Well, I've had plenty opportunities to be in Springfield, and on the on the chamber floor, on the floor with you, in the gallery. I've been there. I've seen it. And when you on an issue, you on an issue. All right, and you don't you don't rest until you get some resolution on that issue.
And you stay the course.
Yeah, you have to stay the course because it's a process.
It's the process. And the thing is, if we've been locked out of the process for so long, then once we figure it out, then they change the process. And then you got to go with them on that change and make them come back to what's real and what needs to be done for the community that you represent. Now, all of my district isn't African American, so I don't want it to be taught or told that I only care about black people, but that's what I am, and I'm true to who I am.
But you're true to your whole district.
I am true to my whole district, and I recognize need, and where the greatest needs are is where I like to make sure that we're being, served.
Okay.
There's a lot of money in state government. We're in a big hole. But that doesn't mean there isn't money being spent.
Okay, we're gonna come back with that. Let's get your question. I kept saying they're blinking over there, so I think someone wants to pose a question to you.
Okay.
Come on, caller, you on the air. You're here with Senator Kimberly Lightford of the 4th District. What's your comment or question, please?
I have a comment and then a question. I'm going to be quick.
Sure,
I want to begin by saying that I love your spirit, Senator Lightford. And
you do have a good one, don't
I am
you?
thankful. I am very thankful that we have someone like you to represent us. And I pray that you continue to fight for us and the betterment of our children's education and the need for us to have a decent wage as parents in order for us to be able to raise our children. My question to you, Senator, is how can we support you so that you can continue to support us as you always have done? That's my question, and I love you.
Ooh.
Oh, I love
Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. That call. Thank you.
And I'm not sure who you are, where you calling from, but it makes me feel good to know that there's people who feel like I'm fighting for their children, because that's what it is. It's a fight to ensure that our kids have adequate and excellent education.
Right, tell them about it. Then tell them about the parents.
The Saturday school.
The Saturday school. Tell them about what you've been doing with grandparents raising grandchildren. Go ahead, just take the liberties.
Okay, so if I could just share this with you for a moment. So I started Uplift Our Future youth program about 12 years ago. And within that program, I just started doing things that I felt that our young people needed, that I could just enhance parents' lives and the kids' lives. And so we started out by doing the big back to school event. I've had the college fair, and we do the Saturday school, and then the grandparents raising grandchildren. Just a little bit on that. I was visiting some schools on the west side of Chicago in my district, and I was told by the principal that 80% of the students were being raised by a grandparent or extended family member. And it just didn't rest with my spirit. I figured I have to do something.
Right.
So I went back to the drawing board. We came up with some legislation to make sure that the department was treating families fair, even if you're not adopting legally or they're not a ward of the state. That doesn't mean that the state shouldn't help grandparents and family members. They figure, well, it's their family, they supposed to take them, they don't need any help. And I disagree with that, because a lot of grandparents are on fixed incomes, and they end up with a bunch of grandkids that they didn't plan on raising
but they won't turn them away
for a second time. And I want to make sure the state gives them assistance. So I provide a special day for them where I just want to love on them. I want them to know I appreciate
And they
what
love
they're
it
doing.
too.
They do love the event. It's a wonderful event. It's grown every year, where we induct grandparents into the Hall of Fame who are raising their grandchildren, let them know how much we love them.
And if you're interested in that, get in touch with the senator's office and get some information on that, so that you can nominate someone that you know that's a grandparent for next year. And I'm sure, if that's okay,
next year it'll be on Grandparents' Day. We're going to do it on Grandparents' Day, because it's our 10th year, Reverend Jones. is our 10th year honoring grandparents who raising grandchildren. Please just visit my website,
That's right.
www.senatorlightford.com, and I try to post everything that I'm doing, and just please come and get involved. The Saturday school is important because I have a free program for middle school children. Saturday school.
No, I heard free.
It's free. It's free.
That's free. Free education.
It's a free education.
Wow.
Supplemental services to help children who are underachieving in reading, math, and writing, 5th through 8th grade.
So
I
giving
can
them,
take 50
just give them
kids.
additional assistance.
By qualified instructors to help them. So what's so unique about it is our ratio is just 6 to 1. So if your child missed a step in math in 4th or 5th grade, and now they're in 7th and 8th and they're struggling because it's something that they miss, I take the time to have my instructors walk them back at the level that they're at and then bring them up. And it's such a blessing when the light bulb goes off and they, oh, I got it. And when parents
So they just
come
needed
in,
a little additional.
and the teachers in the classroom, they can't go back 2-3 years and bring them to where they're at because
Right.
they got 35 other kids
Absolutely.
in this
They don't have the time.
crowded classroom.
Right.
So they don't have the opportunity to say, well, what step did you miss? Where were you? And that's what I like to pride myself on doing. And when the parents come in and say, hey, I got a praise report. My son has never, ever, ever got more than an F or a D and got a B on their report card. That's what fills me up.
Well, we're going to go back to another call if you don't mind. And then we can come back and you can talk to us about the state of the state.
Okay.
What's your opinion about the state of the state? What's your opinion about the state of the state in relationship to education?
Yes.
We knew some years ago, not too long ago, folks was having all type of problems with getting assistance for college. And colleges are closing, folks are not going to school. So we want to know what's the state of that. But we got a caller. Caller, you on there. Thank you for calling. We're here with Senator Lightford. What's your comment or question?
How you doing, sir?
We're doing well, and you?
William Cullen. Yes, I'm doing well. Yes, I want to know, how do you get literature on fathers who care? Because I know a lot of fathers that care about their kids.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. You can log on to fatherswhocare.org, www.fatherswhocare.org, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. The young folks got me solid over here. But if you really want to come on out and be actively involved, come on out Saturday. We're going to be at Loretta Hospital at 645 South Central. It's going to be the annual Westside Men's Health Fair. It's free.
Yes.
Free health information, free physicians, everything's going to be free, a free raffle, raffling off a 50-inch screen TV, all kind of stuff. Financial assistance. Our senator is extremely actively involved in the hospital.
Yes.
The emergency room is named after you.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's going to be this Saturday from 10 to 2. That's the 29th at 645 South Central. The Loretta Hospital under new management, under new leadership.
Under new
It's a
leadership.
spirit in that place
It
now
is.
that's
It's
unlike any other.
It is. It's amazing. Caller.
And you know what?
Caller, can I say something to
Hold
you
on one
about
second.
calling?
Don't hang up, sir. Go
Can
ahead,
I
sir.
just
I'm not going to hang up.
Can I say
Hold
something
on one
to
second. You can come
about-
right back.
I just want to say something to you about calling in as a father who care, because it's important that you continue that effort and continue to care about your children. A lot of our families are broken. We're raising kids alone, and I think even if the parents aren't together, there's no reason why you can't love your child just as much as she can,
Right.
and no reason why she can as much as you. It's going to take a collective effort to make sure we build our kids up to be strong young adults. And I did years ago, I created the Fatherhoods Initiative for the state of Illinois.
The Illinois Council on Responsible Fatherhood. That was your baby.
I created the Illinois Council.
The second only council in the United States.
In the U.S. And I did that, and at that time I was a single mother, so it wasn't that I was bitter or anything like that. I felt like my son's father could have done more and should have done more and still should do more.
And so you
But
put legislation
to make sure you can bring the fathers
Absolutely.
together and bring the families together and
Absolutely.
give men that support that they need to be with their children. So I just wanted to encourage you on staying involved, and I hope you can make it out to Loretto on Saturday.
And I'll be there.
It's a good man to get with.
I'll be there. Okay, good brother?
I would like
This Saturday.
I would like to thank the sister for the program for the reading for the 5th, 6th, and 7th,
Absolutely.
8th grade. Because you know what? That's what our kids are hitting on right now. We need that.
Yeah.
But you know what they really need, though, good brother? You know what they really need?
What they need?
They
Black
need to
men.
see us.
Yeah, they need daddy.
Young men and young women can't be what they can't see. So if they can't see strong men like ourselves and you, and strong sisters like our senator here, then they ain't gonna aspire to want to be that. So I'm encouraging you to come on out here Saturday to this free health clinic and get a massage on some people that I know got golden hands there. A free massage. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. Free refreshments. Anything you think you want to learn about in relation to health, it's gonna be there from 10 to 2. Okay?
10 to 2?
10 to 2.
I'll see you, sir.
Yeah, and if you need any additional information, call Fathers Who Care at 773-287-5821. Thank you, good brother.
All right. Thank you. I'll have a safe and blessed day.
Bless you, man. Do we have any more callers out there? Give me another one. Caller, you on the air.
Hello, Reverend Jones and Senator Kimberly Lightford. How you all doing this evening?
We're doing it.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I just want to first off by saying I commend you both in the work that you do. You are both two of the most powerful entities on the west side of Chicago. And I also want to know how can we get more people involved in wanting to have such a good heart for young people as you two do?
You know, it's hard to do. You know, it really is. Yeah, thank you for that question. It's hard to do. Sometimes if you're not directly impacted in your home, you think it doesn't pertain to you. But if there's a shooting going on or someone near and dear to you gets hurt or something, then sometimes there's a sense of urgency. I think all of us need to recognize the state our young people are in and how much assistance and help we need to give them.
Absolutely.
Now, I do feel that they need to be responsible too, because many of them say, well, you guys aren't listening. Oh, we're listening, but you need to bring something to the table too, and you need to be a good listener.
Other than an appetite.
And then you need to be a good listener. And then once we give you that mentorship and give you that advice, you have to follow through with it. It becomes this repetitive things at time and people get discouraged. But you have to stay in there with our young people and encourage them and direct them and set them on a path. I'm not exactly sure, Reverend Jones, how to get more people involved. I've been lucky enough to have a committee that's been with me for the last 15 years. And if I say, hey, we need to do this for the young people, they're down to do it. So what do you think, Reverend Jones?
I think just do it. Just stay actively involved. You know, don't be judgmental. Understand that you was once young and you had your moments.
And it's a different day.
Yeah, it's a different day, so you got to adapt. You got to adapt to what young folks are thinking.
You can't just say what we did back then or what, because they're dealing in different times. So
and different music.
Different,
a whole different genre of things that they're dealing with.
Media, things that are at their fingertips. We used to try to get the encyclopedia on the block, right? Because everybody looking for S. S then got away, right? So we would have to look up subjects to do reports. Everything is at their fingertips.
Like that.
I went to educate my son on the birds and the bees. He like, Mama, please. I know everything about
just
the
hit
birds
that.
and
Just
the
hit it.
bees.
Just hit it. And you get it all. Google it all.
Yes.
But listen, thank you so much for that call. But listen, Senator, what is the state of the state? First of all, are we in debt?
We are in hugely in debt.
Okay, the state of Illinois is in debt.
The state of Illinois, depends on who you ask, is between $13 to $15 billion in debt.
13 to 15.
That's what the B guys.
Wow.
$1 billion. Our total budget itself is about $38 billion.
Okay.
And so under this governor's leadership, and I don't know if this is a political conversation that I can have, but these are facts and they're real, and that's what we're dealing with as a state.
I mean, you're giving us the information that we need to know.
We need to know.
That's all. That's tax dollars, right?
Tax dollars. Before this previous governor took office, we were $2 to $3 billion under in the hole due to our pension liability and everything else, and we did the tax increase, the small 2% tax increase that many people inflated and made this big number out to be, but that was supposed to pull us out of debt over a 4-year period. Well, when this governor came in and he stalled it that first year from collecting it, we lost the money that would have raised.
Okay.
And then that debt grew on top of that debt, and now we've gone in his 3 years from $2 to $3 billion to 13 to 15 billion.
So what can we do?
No revenue has, but we vote. We vote. We use our civic duties to go out and vote this election and make sure that you don't let these commercials fool you. Facts are facts. It's real. All of our universities have been starved out.
Right.
Our Chicago Public Schools was trying to bankrupt the school system. Fix the school system.
Yeah.
Don't bankrupt them and we don't have nowhere to send our kids. Everybody can't afford private school. And to make sure that in our university system that we make sure more minorities are welcome into our system. We make sure that MAP grant is well and alive and funded properly. In fact, we've put additional money into the MAP grant, but the governor has starved the MAP grant out. All of the numbers have dropped for enrollment, and it's the lowest amount of minority students in our universities as it has been in the last 10, 15 years. So it's up to us to turn that dynamic around, but it's true and it's real. Our state of education, we did a K through 12 piece where it's in its first year, and so we still have work to do there, but I'm hoping that the funding get to the need. What I wanted to do is make sure that money that doesn't need to go to communities that do well, that they still get support, but on the back end. The kids that we need to pull up first, they need the resources first. And so that's how we shaped this last state of education, and I'm hoping that it will prove beneficial. We need truant officers, we need social workers, we need nurses in all of our schools. Not every blue moon a social worker stop by. You need to have these services readily available. We need truant officers, we need safety and security in our schools, and I'm hoping that we're able to get to that point.
Listen, that time on the wall is saying that it's about that time. But listen, log on to Senator Lightford, right? www.
.senatorlightford.com.
Listen, it's been a stone, guys. We appreciate you all calling in. We appreciate the senator coming out. I told you she was passionate. I told you she loved her people. I told you she loved her community. Now it's time for us to love each other. And I think we can love each other. Come on out Saturday at Loretta Hospital from 10 to 2. Listen, if you're interested in becoming part of the solution and not the problem, you can get a job right now to be a law enforcement officer. Get in touch with the Chicago Police Department. They're open right now. They're taking in applications until October the 1st. Listen, we're still throwing out love to the families of Athana and Nooney, two folks who was senselessly killed. One was burnt in a garbage can, 15 years old. We're still looking for justice for Demetrius. We're looking for justice for Thana, our 81-year-old sister who was murdered in her own home. God bless you all.
Please
God
vote.
keep you all. Please
vote. God bless you, and please vote.
Vote.
And don't be fooled by these commercials.
Please vote. God bless you. We'll see you again on the other side. Until then, good night. God bless you. Tune in next week. It's going to be a stone gas, baby.